Once you have that, this mean job position that you're looking for and all of the requirements and things, and this good vision of yourself, who you are and what you're bringing with you, why you're good, we can jump into our application. Only then, because we have a better vision of how we're doing it. Hello you guys, and welcome to one more video. So this video is basically the continuation of last week's video about how you can build up a strategy for your job search and systematically look into that and organize yourself and kind of solve many points that come right along with it. If you haven't seen last week's video, do that before you see this one, because this video may sound a little bit out of context if you don't do so, because it's basically the continuation of it. So do that. We're continuing in a second. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so by clicking on the subscribe button down below. Give me a like, leave a comment, follow me on Instagram, it's Hanchuk, all that jazz, and yeah. What we're gonna do is we're gonna write a cover letter for this kind of mean position. Mean not in the sense of it's bad, but in the sense that it's average. Then after you write your cover letter, you write your resume, your CV, and you stress down all of those keywords that are so important to that. You really focus on making it clear that you have what is asked. Then you work on your LinkedIn profile and you make it strive. You try to get this all-star method. It doesn't actually mean much, but it means that you have a complete profile, and this is so important that people that are looking you on LinkedIn, they really have an idea of who you are. So we can do another video all about LinkedIn, how you can improve it, enhance your chances, make your profile very readable, your strategies in LinkedIn, how you can engage more with people, and so on. You can work on your recommendation letters if you still have some ones to get. Certificates. Gather everything that you say you know and kind of like have some proof of it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a certificate for everything. So if you say you know Python, you don't necessarily have to have a certificate proving you know Python, but kind of have projects that show what you can. And this is going to be a good exercise for you as well when you're answering questions in the interview. So where you've learned it, what have you done with it? What are your plans to improving yourself? What do you plan to do in the future with your skills? Also, if you're applying for a job abroad, it might be, if you already have a visa, it might be a good idea to put your visa in your application as well, just to give the employer this kind of security of, okay, this person already has his or her immigration status cleared out. I won't have to take care of that. It might be a very small advantage. Maybe the employer is going to take care of that as well, and he's going to provide you with the documents and all of the necessary consultancy type of service that you need to get your visa. But adding your visa might be kind of a good thing. And think about extras as well. So a video resume is a pretty good thing, pretty cool. I've received some of those and I kind of often have a very good impression of that. You don't necessarily have to do it, but it's a cool thing, or a website, some kind of action. So there's a video from Max Fosh that I can link here that's pretty cool as well, where he wanted to work for Radio 1, I think, in London, and he printed out his resume on top of his car and made a QR code for people to access it. Something like that. Contacting the company, and so on. So many things you can do. I think we have so many video topics on this list because pretty much every document is one separate video all about that. And we already have a video about your application as well. So I'll link that right here as well. And then after you do that, you kind of start really preparing for the job interview. all of the things you've done here prepared you as well, but now you're kind of really getting to this job interview mode in which you kind of prepare a pitch in which you introduce yourself, like 3 to 5 minutes. This is really, really important so that the recruiter can right ahead ask meaningful questions to you. And when you do that, you also gain time, because interview times sometimes are limited to 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, 30 minutes, I don't know. But your goal is to utilize this time the best you can. So let the recruiter speak, let the hiring manager speak, but also utilize the time wisely. When you say something that really adds value, and you can do that in your introduction as well. Think about your past. So what brought you from one station to the other one? What is the biggest result that you've accomplished in each and every station? What are failures that you've had? Everyone has had failures. It's not bad to have had failures. What is bad is not to have learned something from them. So think about that. Think about conflicts that you've had. Think about your future and your aspirations, where you want to be, how you want to develop yourself. Think about all of the points from the self-reflection before, so hard skills, soft skills, strengths, weaknesses, and so on. And think absolutely about what you want to tell. What are the things that you've noted that you see, okay, those are my differentials. Make sure you tell them during your interview. It's your chance to do it. Maybe you do it in your pitch. Maybe you do it in your question time. Maybe you do it in one of your answers. But if you have something that you want to say because you think it's really important, probably you should say it. And brainstorm for new points. Look for common interview questions. Train it with a friend. Hire somebody to train it with you. Do everything you can to be prepared, because sometimes we really are a very, very good fit, but we cannot show it. Okay, so we just finished looking through all of the points from the first sheet from this workbook, which is strategy. And now we're jumping right into the second sheet. The second sheet intends to kind of give you an overview of things that you can do for every job opening that you see that really interests you and you think, okay, this could be something for me, I want to apply for that. So first thing you do, which is something that's not quite obvious, is to save the job description, to save the job opening to your own files, because some companies, if they leave the job opening online for a very long period of time, they're gonna get 3, 4, even 5 digit number of applicants, and they're not gonna be able of doing so. So of looking into all of that, so they'll just shut down the job opening after a couple of weeks or 1 or 2 months. What we want to do that is save it so we can take a look into all of the points when sending our application and when preparing for a job interview that we hope comes right next our application. So another thing that you can do is verifying, kind of really highlight what are the main points, the key requirements for this position, and really understand, okay, what they are looking for. Maybe see if they also have some requirements that pop up a second time or a third time in their job description, and see what really is important, and see what you have and adapt your CV to the keywords that they're utilizing. So this also communicates with another point right here, in which you may come across a recruiter that doesn't really have all of the technical knowledge for this main area you're specializing in, and he won't know that ability X equals ability Y. So maybe just because you wrote Y, he might not know that you have X by definition. So just try to use the words that are in the job description. It also helps you out if a human is not reading out your application first. So let's say you have a very good recruiter that has a lot of knowledge about your specific field, but he doesn't come to read your application because it's pre-selected through a ATS program that scans applications and looks for keywords. And maybe the program doesn't recognize that y equals x. So yeah, just try to keyword your application. Also, you might want to verify if you do know somebody that is in this company and that may give you a referral or tips or kind of connect you to somebody who can help you out throughout this role. So this is a cool thing. Another thing that maybe should come before even that is researching the company and really seeing, gathering information about it. This is only going to help you out. Also think about problems that you can solve for this company. So I've had a person that I've helped out who was looking for an SEO opportunity abroad, and she basically told me, okay, Marcus, I couldn't find any job regarding SEO. What can I do? I'm not getting through. I'm not even getting interviews. What can I do? So what I told her, okay, maybe build up a portfolio of cases, successful cases that you've had and how you've solved other people's problems. And look for companies that don't necessarily have an SEO strategy right now. And what you can do is you can just go to the company and say, all right, so you do not have an SEO strategy, but if you had, in a very optimistic scenario, you'd have so and so many more customers, you'd make so much more profit, and that would be really good for you. And this strategy could look like this, this, and that. It would intake this much investment all towards my person as an SEO expert in your company. And we can really work together towards this goal. Or maybe if we do more scenarios, like a very optimistic one and a not so optimistic one, you could show the company that they still would be losing a lot of potential by not having you. So this is a very bold strategy of like coming to the company and saying, hey, this is the value I add to you. And you would be creating your own job position by doing that. You can also do that for openings that are available, that are published in newspapers, who even uses newspapers, that are published online, and so on. And use this same strategy, kind of looking for the pain points of the company. You'll see this in this list as well. And saying, how can you solve a problem that they have? And try to focus on the pain points that may be explicit or implicit in the job advertisement. So we already talked about keywording. Another thing you can do is another variation of this bold strategy I just talked to you guys about, and it is thinking about creative ways to bring yourself out there. So in the strategy part, we already talked about video CVs or a video in general. We talked about contacting the recruiter and doing so in a very valuable form. So kind of really adding value after your contact. So maybe doing a follow-up email in which you say, hey, I've really thought about this problem we talked about in our interview, or that I've seen in your job posting. I think this is a very interesting topic. I'm keen on working on that. I've already thought about these possible solutions. I would be glad to hear a feedback from you, and I'm looking forward for further contacts. I don't know, just a small thing that popped up into my mind right now. And there's one example. I've mentioned Max Fosh before. I've seen a video of him on YouTube that I found pretty cool, in which he just printed out a CV on the top of a car, made some QR codes that people could scan, and he had this very bold approach towards, I think, Radio 1 in London, that saying that he wanted to work there. So I found it pretty cool. You don't have to do that. This section is just to inspire you on different approaches you can take in order to achieve your goal. And also, don't forget to look for kind of the experiences of former employers or former employees and current employees from the company. Kind of look through all of the things that they say they're good or not so good. Look into salary, benefits, and so on, so that you're prepared about what to answer when you say how much you're looking for. And also, yeah, do that through many websites. So there's Kununu, Glassdoor, Google, Yahoo, Bing, whatever search engine you use, and also YouTube. So look for kind of things, look into the employer branding of this company, look into what the company is trying to deliver you as in terms of information that what we do with our employees, what kind of opportunities they have, what is life like in our company, and so on. This is always good information to take a look at and to score some points in the interview. So knowing the company is always good. Do it in your research as well. Just check the official channels. In the third sheet, we go to the more practical part of gathering data together. So here we have a sheet where you can just kind of track all of the openings you've had. This is meaningful for a couple of reasons. As we've talked before, the situation where we have to look for a job, maybe we've been laid off, maybe we're just a recent graduate, it causes a lot of anxiety. And having things organized really helps reduce this anxiety because we have everything listed out in front of our eyes. It also has a very practical aspect. Let's say you've applied for these 10 positions or even more, like 20 positions, I don't know, 30, 40, and it's humanly impossible to know every detail about every of those positions in a click. And maybe you get a call from the recruiter and you really want to impress them or not even impress, you want to let them know that you know what they're talking about. You're not just receiving a call and you're like, okay, yes, what was the role again? You want to say, oh, okay, yes, definitely. I've applied for this role. I'm still very interested. Thank you, Miss or Mr. Mustaman for the call. You also know the name of the person. Here you can also keep track of your contact person in the company and your follow-up emails, some notes about the company, and what the results are. So maybe you got rejected, maybe you got an offer. Keep track of it. A fourth aspect of our workbook, our fourth worksheet, is organizing your network. And if you guys have listened to the other parts of this video, or these videos, you probably know that the network part doesn't necessarily have to be in this mindset of, oh wow, I'm using somebody. So I've had this person talk to me, oh my God, Marcus, I'm not sure about doing that. I have the impression that I'm using these people. No, you're not. You're being transparent. So when you're using your network, you're not necessarily kind of doing things behind their back and using them for your benefit. You're being part of their network as well. You're adding value as well, and you're communicating transparently and saying, hey, I'm in this situation right now where I'm looking for a new job abroad, or where I'm just looking for a new opportunity because I'm not employed anymore. And I just wanted to know if you maybe could help me out. So I've seen that you've done this, this, and that, and that's really interesting. I'd be glad to hear more about how you've come there, how was your trajectory, your journey, and so on. Or maybe really just saying, hey, I've seen there's an opening in your company. I'm really interested in it. Could we maybe have a quick call where we talk about it? I'd be happy to learn more about how it is to work in this company. And maybe at the end you can ask, hey, I'm in this situation where I'm looking for a job right now. Could you maybe help me out with a referral? So being transparent is not using somebody because you're communicating what they want and they're kind of accepting it. They're giving it out from their own will. So organize your network, see if you have people who can help you out. Maybe it's a professor, maybe it's a colleague, ex-colleague, friend, family, and so on. It can only help you out. Coming from the premise, we reduce anxiety, we reduce uncertainty with organization, with strategy, taking things in a professional way and professionalizing your job search. Because basically when you're looking for a job, it is a full-time job. So why not do it professionally? And doing or saying that, I want to end this video. It has been a two-part video now, and I'm really looking forward to listen to what you guys have to tell me about this spreadsheet, all of this things that have been listed there. I want to know if this is going to help you guys out or not. So I'm looking forward for your comments, I'm looking forward for the likes, new subscribers, and so on. Only like that I can know that this channel, these videos, and so on are really adding value to you. So I wish you all the luck in the world for your job search. Wish you a lot of success, and yeah, that's basically it. Bye!